I step into the night, now never made sense to me. Why some crave the limelight, it makes me wonder how I'm supposed to be. Could it be wrong to kick back and just right? Now let the truth be told, when in my zone, learn from the fighters' techniques. Now let the truth be sold to you, eyes on the goal, but you're moving too quick, don't speak, just listen. No doubt gonna lay my claim, you put in work and just wait, and let it all unfold, straight from the soul. Now I stick to my goal always. Damn right, gotta lay my claim, watch the whole world change, and let it all unfold, straight from the soul. Gotta stick to my goal always. It's the truth, I step into the night, now never made sense to me. Why some choose the limelight, imagine if they put the time to seek, to find a talent and then watch it take flight. Well, let the truth be told, go to your zone, learn from the finest techniques. Well, let the truth be sold to you, come to your own, but you're moving too quick, don't speak, just listen. No doubt gonna lay my claim, you put in work and just wait, and let it all unfold, straight from the soul. Now I stick to my goal always. Damn right, gotta lay my claim, watch the whole world change, and let it all unfold, straight from the soul. Gotta stick to my goal always. Come on, vibe with us. Little something at a spot tonight. Come on, get hype with us. Ain't no need to fight. Get up, wake up, get down to this sound. We gonna light the night. Tell me who is high in life. Everywhere I seek, things speak to me. Things speak to me, please sing to me. Set up, break down till I'm weak. Each week we reach a new peak, and I wonder when it all might stop. Cause until then I'll give it all I got in harmony. Get back up, you're my remedy. Time to do it again. Everybody at a spot tonight. Come on, vibe with us. Little something at a spot tonight. Come on, get hype with us. Ain't no need to fight. Get up, wake up, get down to this sound. We gonna light the night. Tell me who is high in life. Yeah. Just got an ounce from Oregon and it's fire, wanna inhale, exhale. Yeah, California, Washington keeps it blazing. Inhale, exhale. Just got some chronic at my spot and I'm ready, wanna inhale, exhale. Yeah, Colorado, well starts, keeps me medicated. Inhale, exhale. I'll be the first one to say, yeah, light it up, I'll be the first one to fade. And spark it up, we're elevated. Nah, I can't complain. It keeps me humble, makes me appreciate. Sweet Mary Jane, you pick me up, you make me feel no pain. And when in doubt, inspire me to get out. Sing with my heart, I'll take a draw to calm down. Don't have to tell you, we don't have to give a reason. We elevate at any time or any season. It keeps me going, never feel like I'm defeated. Gives me that feeling I can always count on. I'll take the best of what's around, it don't matter, wanna inhale, exhale. Yes, outside, keep it up, keep it blazing. Inhale, exhale. Just got some
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. It's all a hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money, money.
It's hard out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at ya. We got another wake and bake for you guys. Question and answer session. Bogey should be here in a few. Let's see who's up in the chat. What up, stranger? Shout out to the Houday Nation. Let's smoke it up. Ryan in the house. I'll circle back to your question in a sec. Jay in the house. What up, brother? We're broadcasting in the AAFF. Let's get it. Derek, salute. Ha, Tino, you're savage. Well, I'm the best there is. Plain and simple. When I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. Let's go. And I know Clock. Bogey needs a cell phone company to refund him. His phone hasn't worked since Vegas. Man, talk about being in the Matrix. Antonio, what up? What up? Axel on Twitch, what up? What up? Shout out to the Twitch peeps. What Clock said, guy at work's trying to explain to me why he should take Mahomes in a single QB with the 4th pick overall. Yeah, you know, it all depends on the scoring, but yeah, usually not going to be doing that. Super flex, yeah, he's the 101. Good life lessons. What up? What up? What's going down? Hey, Yuck in the house. What up, Ecumania? What's going down, bro? Douglas in the house. What up? What up? Shout out to the Facebook peeps. Make sure you hop over to YouTube, type in 420 Fantasy Hustler or Fantasy Football Hustler, or go to Twitch, 420 Fantasy Hustler Network. Marcos. Buenos dias, hombrecito. What up? Shout out to Germany. What are you? You're on nighttime, right? Guten Abend. Hey, Nicholas in the house said, yo, newly subbed, bro. Let's get it. What up? What up? Appreciate all the Facebook peeps rocking with us because we're always streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, pretty much everywhere that we can. I'm going to work on, getting some of these new ones like Rumble and Kick. Wish there was just more time in the day. And Yuck said, I'm going to hop over to Twitch. He said, LOL, you get your Kick app up. No, we must have been literally right there because that's what I was thinking is that I need the Kick and Rumble. We need to be getting those working over there. Shout out to Antonio, who's using the dope emojis over there on Twitch. Hell yeah, throwing in that Antoine Dodson.
Well, obviously.
Let's see. Let's see if we could hear this one any better. Hold on.
He's climbing in your window, he's snatching your people off, trying to break you so young with your hide the kids, hide your wife, hide the kids, hide your wife, hide the kids, hide your wife, and hang it up with the good breaking everybody out here.
That wasn't even Bogey's entrance music, but it came at the right time.
No, I mean, I'm actually in hiding right now. You see, I have the kids hiding the kids and the wives. There's a rapist out there in Lincoln Park. And what's that? And man, she woke up early again. I didn't want to miss the show, so I'm just gonna carry her around old school. Because every time I go to put her down, she's trying to wake up. I'm like, bro, come on.
That's how it goes. She knows there's action going down.
Well, it's life. No, listen. I don't give a fuck if there's action going on. I run this shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't see. That's the thing is like this fucks it up for me. Like what my baby mom's does for her. You know what I mean? Like she woke. Like first of all, in the morning, my girl gets ready, dumbass early. She hella loud. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She wakes up, baby. Oh, I gotta go. I bet you do gotta go. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is real. They get real busy when the baby starts crying and shit.
Douglas said that's cute. Yuck said, Bogey Dad Life. I'm all about it, brother. Good man.
I mean, I appreciate the kind words, but this is just something we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So can't really take credit for something I'm supposed to do, but I do appreciate it because being a man and having a woman and like 4 kids for real, I don't get no type of credit. Matter of fact, thanks for that comment. That made me feel great, actually.
Antonio throwing in the corduroy pimpin' Patterson over there. Hold on, where is it?
Oh, we got all the drops back. That's what we're doing.
Not everyone, but we're getting there. Yeah, we're working, getting more and more. Hey, shout out to Chaotic. What up, Chaotic?
Kay, how you doing, homegirl?
I always said how Chaotic is in like 69 leagues.
69 dudes.
I was really selling her short, not even doing her justice.
Okay, how about this?
She's in 150 leagues. You might as well say 155.
I was just about to say. Hey, you gotta turn. Okay, let's do this real quick. You gotta turn them all the way up. Because it's like you know what I mean. We gotta bring it back to the hustler status that everyone knows. Hit one of them things.
Which one?
Just any one of them. We just gotta turn them up. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Yeah, I got to get the other mic hooked up.
Okay, yeah, don't worry.
Is what it is.
Okay.
So can you even hear it when I do that?
It sounds like we're outside the club. You know what I mean?
Trippy. Because like I did, the only thing I did was turn my mic up. Mic's about the exact same spot from where the speaker always was. But yeah, I got to hook up the second mic and put it like right behind the computer. And Doug said I hear it every day from my wife. It's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
It's to be expected.
Yeah. I promise y'all, it doesn't always go both ways though. I think it's because I might have spoiled my baby moms over the years. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And no matter what, I feel like because they're the ones who, give birth, we just owe it, for forever. Because that's a hard process. I can't even imagine.
Listen, bro, I seen the movie Junior. All right? Put a baby, just go ahead and put a fucking fetus in me. I'll shit that shit right out the rectum in like 9 months, bro. I'll be the first man.
Well, first man since Arnold. I mean, that's there's only one man who can travel back through time to try to destroy the universe and then come back and try to save the universe and then have a baby.
Are you talking about Total Recall where Brian had the 3 movies?
I was just talking about Terminator. Because in the first one, he comes back to try to destroy Sarah Connor. Then the second one, he comes back to protect Sarah Connor.
Have you ever seen the second X-Men movie?
I have not seen any of that. Well, not that I can remember. I might have somewhere, but I do not remember it at all.
Are you aware of the character Mystique?
Sounds familiar, but not too familiar.
So she's like greenish. She's like a greenish bluish with red hair, like reddish orange hair. But like she can shapeshift. And so like in the second movie, all the bad guys and the good guys, they link up because they have like a common, a foe.
Yeah.
And so she get, and Wolverine, he be jocking Jean Grey, and then like, Jean Grey walks up in his tent and they start making out. And he's like, oh shit, I'm about to fuck Jean Grey. But then it's Mystique. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
And I could be anyone you want. You know what I mean? And she's like switching up to, and then she switches up to Rogue, and he pushes her off because like if Rogue's like a teenager. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Hey, like the T-1000, man. The T-1000 made me think of that because the T-1000. I mean, how do you get away from him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, even in the first one, I mean, I know that Arnold couldn't shapeshift, but he could change his voice, though. He could change his
Yeah,
voice.
but you know what's funny? He's the most sophisticated robot in the future, but he couldn't change that broken English, could he?
He did when he took on someone else's voice.
That's true. But the default setting was set to Austrian English.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he had an argument with James Cameron. He said, "What if we make the line, 'I will be back'?" He goes, "No, Arnold. No.
You have to combine the words. I wonder how long it took him because he probably said it like 50 times.
I
will be back. Arnold, you did it again.
And then he starts trying to make a case for it. You know, it's probably better. No, Arnold. I'll be back.
We are going to stay here all night until you get the line right.
It's funny, though, because in hindsight, that became the line. Can you imagine that? What if I came to my mother's house? I will be back. No. It doesn't have the same effect as it did for the last 40 whatever years it was. You know?
And he really gets credit for the "come with me if you want to live," but I mean, it wasn't him who originally said that in the first one.
John Connor.
No, not John Connor.
Oh, I'm sorry. He did say that in part 2, correct?
Well, he said it in part 2, but it was in the first one where it was, what's his name, Reese or whatever, the soldier that got sent back.
Yeah, the future father, the future baby dad.
Yeah, so he was the first one. Peacock. He said, "What up? I'm almost done with the Hello Ladies Deshaun Watson massage tour t-shirt."
Yeah. It wouldn't feel right doing the titty motorboat holding the baby.
Oh man, that's gonna be classic. I copped some Peacock t-shirts as well. I got the Fantasy News Today one where it's me and Bogey as Pulp Fiction, and then I also got the Nug Life t-shirt because we're repping that Nug Life.
So I'm Skinny Sam and you're big Travolta.
Travolta, yeah.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, and I was right. Chaotic said it is 155. Antonio said you saw Simmons to the Giants for a 7th. Yeah, and so for anyone who's wondering why the hell this may have happened, it's because he's in the last year of his contract and they probably found nobody else who wanted to give them even more, anything more than a 7th.
And I feel like for someone they're going to cut, you know what I mean? And everyone knows that they're going to do that. It's like, listen, bro, I'll give you a 7. I just give me a 5. 7. 6.
7.
Good deal. All right.
Give me 2 7s. No, just a 7th.
7 7s. We're not allowed to do more than 4 of 1. Okay. But I do kind of worry about this because I liked him a lot in Arizona. At first, I was like, this is cool for reality, maybe more so. But, man, that first and second level on that defense in Arizona is so bad that, he would come down from that third level playing DB, get a bunch of tackles. I mean, now he's got it. Now with the Giants up front, you got Leonard Williams and fucking Dexter Lawrence. And then you got Kayvon Thibodeau coming off the edge. And
Bobby Okereke in the middle.
Bobby Okereke and Azeez Ojulari. And, that's a pretty formidable front right there.
We wanted him to stay on Arizona because Arizona legit might be one of the worst offenses in the league. So that means more time for him on the field. And in Arizona, they put him at DB. They put him at linebacker. He's literally all over the field. We don't know how they're going to use him with the Giants. Like, this remains to be seen.
I think they'll do both again. I mean, like, that's the type of player he is coming out of college. This is how he's been utilized most of his career. We've actually
I guess they did lose Julian Love, and he was a guy who was kind of like, the Ming Shift nickel corner safety, so maybe he will fit in the Julian Love role. Julian Love did really good last year, so if he mixes into that exact same role, it should be good for him. Oh, there goes Bogey in the Matrix. And let's see, big BS. And I'll give credit to any person who bleeds for 3 days and doesn't die, right? And Yuck, he said also Danny DeVito's twin, for sure. That one of his better roles. I love twins. Classic movie. Marco said, what kinds of leagues are playing? All Dynasty. Now I think she has a bunch of different ones. Clock said Mystique is my dream chick. BS, what's wrong with Wolfie? I could hear him barking. And in the first one, he takes on like Sarah Connor's mom, is what it was when she talking to Sarah, and then figuring out the place of that hotel where they were at. Yuck said if Danny DeVito went back in time, he would have been DeVito 1000 and clap Sarah Connors. Yo, what up, Zeb? Oh, man, I totally forgot about Ryan's question. We got to go back. Ryan said 10-man league, taking JJ with the 1-on-1. What combination of Olave, Waddle, and Andrews, Pollard? Not Pollard, man. Get out of here with that. We don't want him unless we're getting him really late. I would honestly take Kelsey with the first pick. That's what I would do, assuming there's a tight end spot. And then I would take Olave and Waddle in that next one, and then wait for the next one to get a running back. Or I would do like Kelsey with the 1-on-1, and then Waddle and a running back. In these redraft leagues, I really like trying to build as even as possible, because if you're top heavy, at least with one running back, one wide receiver, you're going to be feeling a lot better about yourself, in most weeks. Because you won't be streaming those spots. If you go wide receiver, and then you don't hit on your running backs, you might be streaming running backs the entire season. Two spots at running backs.
We call that the bogey. Really top heavy everywhere except for running backs.
Yeah, and for redraft, I just like building evenly. I've won the most championships by starting off with even builds in the first 3 rounds.
And that's funny too, because for me, I've won the most by going like super like fuck running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to say that like I've started like that and then traded for all the running backs. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'll do, is I'll wait around.
What up, KE?
What's up?
No, I was just saying what up to KE, who's in the chat.
What up, KE? Yeah, but like certain, like especially these younger running backs that people are kind of overdrafting. Those guys either get, you can trade for those guys when they ain't eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, shit, some of these guys, I mean, not Gibbs and not Bijan, but like anybody else, Charbonnet, who's another one, A-Chain. I mean, all these guys could get drafted and then dropped. Like, look at a guy like Nick Chubb. I love bringing this up because when he was a rookie, he's a second-round draft pick. He's got the capital over there, but they got Carlos Hyde in front of him, and they got Duke Johnson, so he's like playing third fiddle. And like, everybody drafted him in all these leagues that I was in. I was in 8 leagues that year. Everybody drafted him somewhere, and literally everybody dropped him in every single league because he wasn't getting any kind of work within the first like couple weeks, or maybe it was like a touch here, a touch there.
And that motherfucker Nick Chubb, that piece of shit against the Broncos in week 16 didn't do shit for me. Oh no, it was against the Bengals. Didn't do nothing.
But you know what? If you picked him up off the waiver wire like I did, like there's no bigger waiver wire like ad that year than Nick Chubb.
That's funny because, man, I had him everywhere that year, but I'm sure I drafted him and just held on to him. I'm crazy.
Yes, you had to have a good enough team and not a shallow bench. If you play in a league with like 5 bench spots, probably dropping him because he's not helping you, for the first couple weeks. That's why I hate playing in those leagues with like 5 bench spots.
And I think leagues with kickers and defense, people make the idiotic decision to hold on to their kicker or defense during the week and drop something that you might need. Like, listen, if there's a kicker or a defense to be dropped and I need to make a move because I'm waiting on an injured player, those are the first to go to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and these rookie wide receivers not named, maybe not the first 4, but that's what's crazy is like there's going to be a bunch of other guys who are drafted. Those first 4 are going to be overdrafted.
Yeah, and we'll be able to take shots on a Tank Dell like in double-digit rounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like guys like that where I'm okay holding on to them for a while. Like they didn't cost me anything. You know what I mean? But and it sucks because even in that same breath, if I was idiotic enough to draft a Charbonnet like in the 8th, 9th round and he wasn't doing shit, I might fuck around and just get rid of him too. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? After the draft, it's really irrelevant. And so, I hate it when other managers, they hold on to it like, oh, why draft him in the second round, bro? I'm like, yeah, that was 3 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, draft capital to me does not matter once the draft is over. Like once the season starts, doesn't matter where you drafted them because it's redraft. Dynasty going to be different. You might put a little bit more thought into the trade process, but in redraft, like draft capital means nothing. I will try to use it against people, but my whole mentality is draft capital doesn't mean anything. So if I bring that up to you, during one of these redraft trades, just because I'm trying to get more out of you. That's what it's all about.
Exactamundo.
And Yuck said, not draft related, but I got 3 teeth out on Tuesday. I can finally hit my bong in 5 hours. Let's fucking go. That's
good. I mean, what do they tell you 3 days before you could like smoke anything? It's because of the suction, action, like when you have, open guns and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those shit's got to close all the way up before.
Yeah, or you got to stuff that bitch with some gauze.
Oh, man, that would just suck, though. Like, no, you got to let that shit close all the way up. Don't let it not heal all the way and then hit the bong and then fuck up your gums even worse.
Yeah, get an infection.
Yeah, that would not be cool. Hey, Elias in the house. He said, what's good, boys? How y'all been? He said, fantasy season around the corner. Literally 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks. And multiple people have been asking about Turpin. Turpin, the dude on the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, phenomenal return guy is my take.
Yeah, I'm not for anything for redraft unless you do have like a return guy spot. Like it's going to be all CD and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, and it's like maybe the case to be made for a Turpin is that he beats out a Jalen Tolbert or a fucking Michael Gallup, because it's like whatever happened to those guys, and like the new system they're going to run is not really a tight end centric system at all. So
yeah,
there's actually a shitload of vacated targets, but I just naturally assume they kind of get divvied up into CD and Brandon Cooks. You know what I mean?
Uncle Buck in the house. What up? What up? And Marty said, what? Isaiah Simmons traded for a 7th. Obviously a tank by the Cards. Well, the thing is, Isaiah Simmons is a top 10 NFL draft pick. Like this is his 5th year. They didn't want to. They didn't want to pay. What it is right now. They don't want to sign him to a big ass long-term contract. This is just what you do. Like this is getting a 7th for him versus getting nothing next year.
I mean, the fact that he was a top 10 pick, because we've seen this happen a lot. Like New England, Seattle, these are organizations that'll cut a first rounder. They don't give a fuck, but I've never seen it this high.
Yeah,
pretty high.
And Jay said, same here. I'm liking 0 RB unless you got the best available to start the league heavy towards wide receivers in the later rounds. And he said, then load up on running backs after round 8. There's going to be a lot. You definitely have to hit correctly on those ones, but there's a bunch that we've been talking about that we like in the later rounds.
Okay, let's go get you a
snack. What Yuck said, Kyler Murray can't tell you Cardinals plays, but he can tell you every new zombie map in Modern Warfare 3.
And I actually beat him in Modern Warfare.
You saw him. He sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why he thinks he's good.
And Ricky, Magic Man Ricky, what up, bro? He said, would you draft Herbert with the new offensive coordinator, Josh Allen with Diggs wanting out, or Joe Burrow with the calf issues? I'm ranking them Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, then Herbert. But if Diggs leaves and they don't get anything else, I mean, in a 4 QB league, I'd probably like Allen more because he'll probably be rushing. Like even more 6 point per passing touchdown. I feel like got to downgrade him a tiny little bit. He's still up there, man. He's still top 4 no matter what.
The thing with Josh Allen is that like when that week he got his elbow injury, his production went stagnant for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then still finished 20 points under Mahomes or something like that. It was really close. And I feel like he would have been number 1 for 3 years in a row if he didn't get that elbow injury. So,
right.
I mean, it's kind of because he's the weapon, But otherwise, I kind of like Justin Herbert in that aspect because he got a great trio of receivers plus the pass catching running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Elias said, would you rather pick 12th overall or 4th overall in a 12-man league? If it's redraft, I'm pick the highest pick. I want the highest pick no matter what. If it's redraft, I'm not even thinking about it. No reason to get cute. Like because you think you might be able to get someone at a certain spot or whatever. I mean, the back-to-back picks are nice, but you know what's nicer is getting as close as you can to 3 picks inside the top 25. So the higher you are in round 1, the higher you're going to be in round 3. And your 1, 2, and 3 picks are like the foundation for your entire team.
On that one.
Let's see. Let's see who we got. Ryan said, who do you like out of Connor, Kamara, Akers, and redraft? I mean, I like all of them to a certain extent. I'd probably have it Akers, Kamara, and then Connor is the way that I would rank them. I'm not fully off Kamara. I mean, he's dropping like super, super far. So I'm just trying to get him as like a bench player, you know, or like maybe like last guy, like who I draft for like the starters, and then get a guy right after that who will be in that spot.
Okay, where do you think the tier drop off for running backs is? For me, out of that first, like, I mean, there's the first tier, then there's the second tier, and out of the second tier, I think once I get into the range of like Ken Walker and Najee, you know, past
Stevenson's like, probably the drop off in that tier.
Yeah, I would say Stevenson, and then like I would even argue Joe Mixon pops off. Joe Mixon and Kamara pop off this next tier.
I've been kind of taking Joe Mixon, you know, but maybe a little bit higher more recently, just because I feel like the ADP is just going to keep rising as time goes on.
Well, I think the only reason he was as low as he was too is not only the shitty efficiency, but like all the offseason drama. You know what I mean? For sure. And Doug said, just out of curiosity, what Saints players would you draft? I'm kind of out on Olave if I got to get him like at his ceiling, but if I can get him, you know, at a fair price, I'm still taking Higgins over Olave. It's hella close, but that's kind of like, you know, where it's at. I'd rather have Devonta Smith over Olave, even though Olave could potentially be the one over there. I think for me, it gets like Waddle and Olave are kind of splitting hairs, but I'll take Waddle, even though he's going to have like this massively shorter ADOT. I just think the floor of 100 receptions is there. And it's like, when you look at Devontae Adams last year with Derek Carr, literally had 180 targets. I don't know how many grabs he had. I bet you the efficiency was shitty, but it didn't matter because he got the volume, 180 targets. Like, I don't know if we're getting that with Olave. You know what I mean? I really don't think Olave hits 100 receptions. Not saying he's not going to get 100 targets, but man, 100 receptions, I feel like that's just a lot for as much as they're going to be getting. Because, I mean, we got to see. I know it's going to be a shorter ADOT, like you said. We got to see, is he going to be going over the middle? Is he going to be doing more than just running the 9 route, which he ran like so much last year? Yeah. And like, I mean, it's the same offense he's in. So maybe that helps him, an expansion of his knowledge of the playbook, stuff like that. You know? Yeah. And Yuck said, y'all heard the Lance rumors to the Vikings. Nah, I mean, anything right now is probably Fugazi. I heard him because I started them. I started that rumor. Yeah, and seeing like even Lance to the Vikings, that makes like absolutely 0 sense for like the type of offense that they run. 0 sense. He wouldn't even be a good backup to Kirk Cousins because they're like completely different players. Yeah, it'd be like a definite switch. Listen, if Lance was there, I would really be worried about a Justin Jefferson. Oh man, hold on. I gotta show the Deshaun Watson picture that Peacock just created for the t-shirt. Oh man, this shit's funny. Hold up. Let me get the drop ready. That's just cut.
Peacock, you are a savage.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, this is hilarious. Look at this. This is going to be on a t-shirt very, very soon, peeps.
That's funny.
Man. That's a good one, Peacock. Nice work. Peacock does nice work.
Oh yeah, only the best.
And Marco said some awesome t-shirt right there. Oh yeah. And Uncle Buck said, who's the backup for Deshaun in Cleveland? GTR.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah.
DTR the mob.
He's definitely outproduced Kellen Mond. And I mean, I was surprised that Josh Dobbs is even like in the works for like the backup job when he was literally on a practice squad last year. And I mean, gets pulled. I guess it's because he did decent in that game, like for like having like 2 days to prepare for an NFL Thursday game.
I mean, he was also like, you know, he's this 5th rounder guy. And then the moment they start attaching, you know, he's this year's Brock Purdy as far as like, you know, super late draft capital, you know, diamond in the rough QBs go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that guy's, you know, and then, you know, he'll never see the field unless there's a Watson injury, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, and he's definitely like a mobile-esque kind of guy. So, you know, they could probably run the same playbook as they do with Watson if there was anything to happen to our good old sex offender.
And another thing, too, is Jay, he said, I heard that Darnold's named the starter in San Fran. No, he was named the backup.
Listen, you heard that very wrong.
He's the backup, but it is
like that.
It's Lance who got screwed over, got thrown down to number 3, and he got all pissy and didn't even show up for practice.
I mean, he just keeps losing his hair like he's Dr. Evil's dad in part 3.
And Ryan,
Dr. Evil's son, remember?
Yeah, where he had all the hair plugs and shit.
Yeah, he just kept losing his hair.
Yeah. And
the more evil he got.
Yeah, hell yeah. When you're evil, there's just a lot of stress, you know, like you gotta conquer the world, you know. I mean, there's a lot of stress on you when you're trying to figure that out. He's trying to come up with all the different ways to kill Austin Powers.
I know, right? And they're like, and then the son's like, hey, he's like, okay, I'll go get my gun. I'll come back. Boom, shoot him right in the head. We're done. Like, no.
We can't do that.
I want to dip him very slowly in an elaborate shark contraption.
And we're just going to assume that he gets eaten by the sharks.
Yes. No, we're not even going to watch it happen. We're going to close the door. We're just going to assume it all went to plan. What's wrong here?
And like Scott just wasn't evil enough. That was too simple of a plan. Like, I'm just going to go get my gun. We'll shoot him in the head. Boom, it's done.
Father, son, kill.
Like, no, Scott, you just don't understand, Scott. You can't do things like that.
You just don't understand.
It's not evil enough. But do you remember in number 3? Or was it number 3 or number 2? Yeah, number 3. When he got him the sharks with freaking laser beams.
Oh, he was on him, huh?
Oh, yeah. He fell in love, right? Fell in love with his son all over again.
Hey, you know, I figured a shark could have a warm meal.
Are those freaking sharks with freaking laser beams? He was about to cry.
Laser beams attached to their head.
And then they moved over. What's his name? Moved over. Mini-Me. Scoot over to chair number 3.
Move over there.
He got Mini-Me got demoted just like Trey Lance did to chair 3.
Everybody got to go right now. Hold on, not you there though, Brow. Not you over there, random guy in the background switching dials, pretending to do stuff. Not you, right there. Just the little one doesn't get it.
He doesn't understand. Oh, man. Ryan said, assuming tight end designated positions, Andrew is the clear-cut number 2 tight end. No. How early are you taking him if you miss Kelsey in the first round? See, I'd rather get Hawkinson over Kelsey because Why was he missing practice? Ear infection. He was missing practice.
And contract disputes.
There was contract disputes, and yeah, maybe the ear infection was just, they overdrew that.
He's like, what? I can't hear all that noise. My ear is infected.
But it's TJ for me. Their defense is bad over there. They're going to be throwing in a lot to the tight end. He was the clear-cut number 2 last year when he got over there.
It doesn't mean go draft him number 2. It just means just wait. And I would rather wait on the value of him. Even though you still got to go up and get TJ, you don't got to go up and get him as high as you would an Andrews right now. You know what I mean? And like Andrews, there's a lot of mystery. He's not the only game in town anymore. And it's not Greg Roman calling the plays anymore. Greg Roman, former offensive coordinator, going all the way back to 2019 for the Ravens, he's the tight end centric offense. Everything goes through the tight end. And he's not that guy anymore. So, and now all of a sudden they add OBJ, Zay Flowers, who's running 75-yard touchdown passes apparently. And then you have
it's wild that it's fugazi if you say it like this, but it's the truth. They have 5 first-round drafted wide receivers on their squad. All of them haven't panned out in the NFL, so it is fugazi if you literally just say it like that in a vacuum. But that is kind of wild. I
guess Mark Andrews is the only one that's not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
because he was a third-round guy.
They fucked up.
Well, they haven't known. All of those guys weren't drafted by them.
Yeah, I know, but Rashad Bateman was, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, for sure. That was a
they fucked up.
Yeah. And Elias said, I'd rather have Waller, to be honest. If I'm going to take Waller, it's got to be late. I don't like the redraft people kind of fucking up his ADP.
Yeah, they're pulling him up hella high.
And you better have a solid backup, just like if you take Waller, I feel like if you take any tight end after like the first couple guys, you should have 2 tight ends on your squad to where you're taking a dart throw late. Because if they do good in week 1, you might not be able to get them like off of the waiver wire.
Okay, here's something that's kind of cool. The Giants offense is going to be very tight end centric.
Yeah.
That's why they went out and got Waller. They tried to draft my man Bill Bellinger. You know what I'm saying?
Which he did solid enough that we were bringing him up, So now you imagine the guy's even more talented.
And it was kind of a run-on joke, but like at the same time, like he was, it's a tight end centric offense. That's why you don't really see a standout breakout wide receiver that much, in that offense. You know what I mean? Like, and now they bring in Darren Waller, and if he stays healthy, I 100% believe he leads that team in targets and receptions. You know what I mean? I mean, Saquon just led them last year at the running back position. So if a running back can do that, and like for more little tidbits to support the Darren Waller love with the Giants, and you have Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll loves the tight end in the red zone. You look at going all the way back to 2021. 2021. You had Dawson Knox have about 12 touchdowns and about 500 yards receiving. And then you have the offensive coordinator for the Giants. He was the tight ends coach for the Chiefs, since Andy Reid's been there.
Yeah.
So, that's got to mean something when first thing they do is go out and get Darren Waller in this offseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they really made no other, additions to, their pass catching, besides him. So,
yeah,
we already seen what it was. We like Haji because Haji's back, but it's not like he's gonna be, demanding any kind of 10 targets a game. And Wan'Dale Robinson, dude, can't stay healthy to save his life. And even if he's there, does he warrant 10 targets a game? Waller might legit, him and Saquon might be the only guys on the team that warrant 10 targets a game.
I mean, you might be able to even go back to Brian Daboll's time with New England, where the tight end position was soaking up 22 to 25% of the target market share. That means every 1 out of every 4 times they're throwing the ball, they're targeting a tight end. I kind of like these things, but
you're right, Elias, with Hyatt. I mean, if he really ends up being legit with his route running, Hyatt could be pretty sneaky. It's fast as hell.
Yeah, I just don't trust Danny Dumbass that much. It's still going to be a lower pass volume offense, a lot more shorter A-dot. that's another thing too. It's gonna be a lot more shorter A dot. So like, you know, but he does have a pretty big arm for a dumbass. I ain't gonna lie.
Elias says that he's a biased Giants fan. That's why he brought up Waller. I want your opinion on Danny Pesos, Elias. Do you think he runs more, less, or the same as last year? Because that was one of the reasons why he was so good for fantasy, you know, especially for you crazy fools that play in the 4 points per passing touchdown leagues. And who is on Facebook over here who said, yo, what up, what up? Okay, cool. Elias said the same. All right, I'm with it. And I forgot earlier, Peacock said that those shirts are going to be $22 regular price. There we go. I know that's how much those 2 shirts that I got over at the Peacock shop. Peacock, throw in your link again. Let me see. If you're not a moderator, let me make you a moderator so you can throw in your link. But I know he just got a new link to make it a little bit easier. I think it's was it Neon Peacock merch or something? I'm pretty sure. Throw it in there, Peacock. I made you a moderator so you can throw in the link now. And Tino said, how about them Cowboys? And Ryan said, Freiermuth or Ingram? I'm on the Ingram side, but Freiermuth, I'm expecting a big step up from Kenny Pickett. So I do like Freiermuth, especially because you're getting him like free. I mean, Ingram, you're kind of getting free as well, which is still crazy that you can't like that he isn't higher.
I think Ingram has like a safer floor with receptions, and then I think the touchdown I'll give that to Freiermuth, but he might not be. He's going to be more touchdown or bust than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like Evan Ingram feels closer to throwing a receiver in my tight end spot than just a touchdown or bust guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because really, I mean, obviously it's the Calvin Ridley. You know why Ingram's going so low, and like Calvin Ridley being there doesn't like fully erase him, or like they never would have even given him that bag. You know, like this system just runs through the tight end, runs a lot through the slot, and yeah, he's gonna get used a lot over there again. And what up? Who is Super? What is this? Super Saiyan Vegan? What up? What up? Said how he feeling about DK? Big built motherfucking self-image, such a unit, but still not ending up top 3. He said I feel like they're wasting him.
Who is this?
DK.
Nah, man. Have you looked at DK's numbers?
Last year was just definitely down. I mean,
it was down, but it's like it's okay. So he's not getting any real kind of volume. Like this is pretty efficient. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, the one thing that hasn't changed since the beginning of his career is that he's always been top 4 in red zone targets at the receiver position since he came into the league 2019. Last year, he was top 4, number 4 overall, like I said, in red zone targets, and he has 6. It turned into 4 touchdowns. So, you know what I mean? And like, you know, we want these red zone targets, bro. That's how those things help me feel good about hitting pay dirt. And
then if you remember the year before that with Russ, remember he like broke his finger or something. He was just completely off like that year. And so like, I don't know, like, I mean, that was kind of a down year compared to like a couple.
And like for anybody, you know, there's a case to be made when JSN was, all the hype was there. Now he's going to miss some time. You know what I mean? I'm all about DK and Tyler Lockett, and you know what I'm saying? Like now it's just a concentrated target market share between 2 guys to start the year. I'm all about that. Plus one thing about DK Metcalf is we got some PPR goodness out of him. His ADOT, if you look at his ADOT before the last 2 seasons, it was fairly high. You know what I mean? Like over 12 yards. You know, when you drop down about 8 yards or below, I think this past year was like 6-yard ADOT. That's crazy, but it also means he's getting more PPR love. You know what I mean? Like we're getting a floor out of him. He's someone I go back and forth on, but now I'm back on him because of the whole JSN thing. And like because of all the hype for JSN, guys like DK and Lockett, their fault, they fell out of grace as far as their draft capital. You know what I mean?
Hey, we got a lot of people watching on YouTube, but we don't got a lot of thumbs up. Let's smash that like button, peeps.
Yeah, like literally smash it. Like,
smash it so much that it gives 2. There we go. And Yuck said, totally vibing to 420 Fantasy and Pink Floyd. Let's get it.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm from the dark side of the moon. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Elias said, assuming CMC, JJ, and Chase go top 3, I was also thinking Kelsey or Hill for sure. Yeah.
I mean, top 3, that's not bad. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's I would look at scoring formats. That usually is the only reason it'll dictate any kind of other decision I make outside of Kelsey right there. I mean, I'd rather be dominant in that position. I'm putting a top 6, 7-ish receiver in my tight end spot, and that guy is connected to Patrick Mahomes. Give me that.
Yeah. And we got, who is this?
Ooh, the arms are starting to hang. We're almost to that morning glory. It smoked that good.
When Noble was a baby like that, just anywhere in that, he would like clench up his hands, and like that to me, that was him like trying to stay awake. So I'd always make sure go relax those hands, make sure they're relaxed, no clenching the fists, and then usually a couple minutes after that, boom, done, out.
So all my kids did something weird. This one, I guess it wasn't so weird with this one. It was just like me carry her on F&T. That was
on the show, yeah.
Yeah, and then she'd go to sleep. But like my second oldest, for example, like my first oldest, she would have like 8 pacifiers. She had one in her mouth, 2 in her hands, and she's just rubbing it all over her forehead until like when she's supposed to fall asleep, and she gotta be holding them, or she'll stash them under the pillow. And that was annoying because like she'd be like missing one of them. I'm like, fuck, why is she carrying around 7 of these bitches? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it'd be funny if Mimi was falling asleep. Like you go to football games and she just falls asleep because like any kind of football talk or football, anything just puts her to sleep.
Hey, real talk, hey, you know what, bro? All my kids will sleep through a fucking hurricane, bro. I swear to God.
I've slept through multiple football games that were boring. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, motherfucker, whole crowd yelling as fuck. I was asleep. But alcohol and Zans don't do that at a game. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, but so here we are, right? Fucking with my second oldest. She would I would hold her like this, and she would put her hand in my shirt, and she just has to hold my nipple. And it'd be like, okay, she's asleep. I'm trying to pull her arm out, and she tries to hold it again. So, all right, hold on, she's not done yet. And it was just or she would be looking for it. I'm like, God damn it. And then she never did that with my girl, though. She would grab my girl's elbow. That was her thing with my girl.
Grab the elbows.
Yeah, hold the elbow. She would have it in the crease. She'd have to have her hand right here. You have to do one of those. I'm like, that's easier. I hold her like this. Why can't she do that? She got to squeeze my nipple and play titties.
That's hilarious. Derek's cracking up. Hold your nipple.
For real. And I wore my V-neck today, so easier to put her to sleep.
Get some easier access.
And it's the worst because, you got to put him to sleep. You got to lay him down without waking him up. And I got the motherfucker caught in my shirt and shit. Okay, let's go try this again. Because that joint is calling my name.
And Jakamu said, Jahan Dotson.
Well, obviously.
Come on, man. Look, we like Dotson so much that we got a Dotson emoji in there. I mean, this is Antoine Dotson, but either way, that's what we throw up for Dotson.
He's climbing your window, he's snatching your people off, trying to write the son, he's a hide the kids, hide the wife, hide the kids, hide the wife, hide the kids, hide the wife, and hide it up with the goods and break the name of the
Elias, I don't think you understood my question. Oh, I thought we said Kelsey right there, assuming that there's a tight end spot. Yeah, Kelsey over all those guys. For sure. And Let's see. And Ryan said, any RBs you consider at the 210 or 3-1? Jacobs, JT seem to be falling. Aaron Jones, Mixon seem like they're available at the 410, 5-1. Yeah, I mean, I would really be trying to target guys like Aaron Jones and Joe Mixon over Jacobs and JT. I mean, if you can get JT at the 410 or 5-1, you know, I'd get him there if he falls that far somehow. Because I got him in one of our best balls in like the 5th round. I mean, it is a super flex, but still, he's falling like that.
Well, that didn't work. She went and put the arm around it. No.
You can even tell her face is a little like, her eyes are a little like scrunched up like right now.
Yeah, go your ass back to sleep. I should have gave it like 10 more minutes.
But yeah, I don't want to go after guys like Jacobs and JT. Like, I mean, this is why, you know, there's some people who are like, oh yeah, you should never be drafting before like the last week, you know, and like I
agree.
The
guy who plays in one league and he's never won it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I agree to a certain extent, literally because of situations like this where there's a big old question mark. And so usually I'm just avoiding guys like that. It hurts if it turns out the opposite of what we think, and then they end up doing real good and someone, you know, got them with extreme value. But it's also baked into the risk, and I'm trying to, you know, just limit my risks on stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to mitigate the risks as much as possible. But I also like to calculate the risks I take. And like when I start punching numbers and doing the calculations, I don't like when I come out with JT or Jacobs like that. Jacobs actually I'm okay with, really, because like he's just going to volume his way into fantasy goodness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to like JT, I mean, where is he going to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if he ends up in Chicago, he's reconnecting with a former coach from the Colts. That's cool. You know what I mean? But that former coach is a defensive-minded guy. You know what I mean? And the run game over there. I mean, they're coming off of a 3,000-yard run season as a team, right? The Bears got that question. You know why I know that? Because I got that question wrong. And now I know the answer forever.
And Austin said, Bud, you like AJ Brown or Lamb over Diggs? I like both of them over Diggs right now. And this could change a little bit, but because of the volume, I feel like CD is going to get AJ Brown's efficiency is going to be through the roof. But I'm going Lamb, AJ. I mean, there might even be someone else before Diggs, but out of these three specifically, that'd be the order.
I think, you know, it's funny because Steamboat's like the chalkiest of all chalk bastards you could come across, right? And he's like, man, so you like AJ over Diggs? I'm like, yeah, I like the big play ability. But then I start thinking, damn, you know, Diggs is basically the only game in town, and he's good for 100 receptions. I mean, that's all he's doing over there, you know? So it is kind of cool. Like, let's just stop talking about Diggs right now. Let's just keep staying him where he's at. You know what I mean?
I don't like the drama about him wanting out. Like, I mean, ever since the beginning, he was not happy with what was going on over there. The beginning of this offseason, that's what I mean.
You know, it'd be cool if he came out and said, I'm not happy with 100 receptions. I need 150. I'd be like, bro, we're getting Diggs. You know what I mean?
But why? He's getting that amount of targets. What's the reason he can't get that many? Because he's triple teamed like on half the plays out there.
Yeah, that's probably like, okay, the argument against AJ Brown over Diggs, that's my argument. That there's so many other options, it actually opens it up for Diggs. I mean, for AJ Brown, versus you could argue it the other way with AJ Brown, be like, well, there's too many mouths to feed, and Diggs, he's the only game in town. But it's like, well, okay, Diggs the only game in town. That's the only guy they got a game plan for. Yeah, you know, and it's like, well, then there'll be the crazy assholes. Oh, well, you know, Dalton Kincaid's about to blow up, bro. Oh, really? Really?
I did just draft him in the Green Bowl in like the 18th or 19th round.
I wasn't mad at that.
Yeah, because let's see. Let's even look at their stats, you know, from last year, both guys.
Who is this again?
Diggs and AJ Brown.
Yeah, and I just know he's 100 receptions all the time, right? I could be telling
so AJ Brown, 88 receptions, 145 targets, 1496 on the yards, 11 tugs. Diggs, 154 targets, 108 receptions, 1429 on the yards, 11 tugs.
Wow.
So it's really just the receptions. Everything else was identical, and he got 20 more receptions.
And that's
than
what I'm
him.
saying.
That's
Like,
a hell of efficiency right there.
And you know, and I feel
And
like
what if it goes up? What if Hurts actually takes a step up as a passer?
well, see, that's what I'm saying though, is I don't think the efficiency needs to continue for Hurts. I just think I need the rushing to come down for him, and then swap that out with more pass attempts. He had about 460 pass attempts last year. What was that? I mean, that's not a lot. You know what I mean? I think he can go up another 50 to 80 if we're going to take away half of his rush attempts. I mean, he had about over 100.
460.
So 460 pass attempts, right, for Jalen Hurts. Rush attempts, I think he had about 150 something.
165.
165. So, I mean, I think I could take about 55 rush attempts from him, maybe even 65. And go ahead and give me that in passing, and he's going over. Let's get closer to around 530 pass attempts with this same efficiency, or even if it takes a slight drop. I'm all about that.
And Game Time said
that's why we take AJ Brown over him.
Game Time said, calling it now. Hurts gonna throw for over 4,000 yards. He better with that big ass contract. He threw for 37 last year, so he better go over 4,000.
Yeah, I mean, he would have won over 4,000.
And he said AJ gets 14 of it. AJ got 14 of it last year. We better see AJ take a bump to 16, 17, and 15 tugs.
And what a hell of a proclamation, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, stop the fucking presses. 4,000 fucking passing yards. Jalen Hurts, dial it up, bill it, mark it, thank me in the morning. And it's like, bro, you know, he missed 2 games last year. You would have won over 4,000. That's what I'm saying. Mark my words.
I want to see AJ take that jump to the 16, 17 and take a jump into the 14, 15 tugs. Like, that would be awesome. I want that. I want that. I don't have a lot of Hurts because he's hard to get. And I've taken guys like Joe Burrow, you know, over him, and Patrick Mahomes, like, over him. But, yeah, let's see what happens. And Yuck said big contract means big disappointment. Well, not now. Now that these teams are getting a little bit smarter with the cash over cap, because that was that was the issue for the longest time when teams weren't working the cap the right way. I think that we've seen, guys like Mahomes, they just go out there and do their thing. Rodgers doing their thing. I mean, he didn't have a lot of help, but it wasn't his fault, because now look at the kind of help, that he has over there with the Jets. So. And Yuck said, I love smoking Joe Burrow, right? He's still my, I know he's hurt a little bit, but he's still the guy who I threw down money to win the MVP. And before he got hurt, I had him as my number 2, right behind Patrick Mahomes. Now I've kind of diversified a little bit. But, Crispy, knock it off. Knock it off, Crispy. But Game Time on Twitch. Thanks for showing love. On Twitch, and thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
This is hella irritating as fuck. You know why? This is shit my girl never does. She wakes the baby up every morning for me to hold the baby with a fucking hernia. Fucking dude.
Man, and no sleep for her. All right, and let's see. If there's any other questions, go ahead and throw them in. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes, and then I got to get to the post office. We got to get some cards in the mail. And, don't forget, Stevie B is coming back tonight like he always does. So it's usually Thursday nights at 7. So it's going to be tonight, but tonight is the last night that they're doing it on Thursday. They're going to be doing their shows on Tuesday night now. Because during the season, I mean, they just, Thursday night football just wouldn't work out, that way. We want to make sure that he's got his time to, have the 1 to 3 hour shows, however long they're going to do. Because, they're spitting a lot of dynasty isms. Tonight, they're doing a Q&A and a dynasty mock.
Cool.
There we go. Peacock's on my package on its way from Dallas. Should arrive tomorrow. Thanks again, Huss. Yes, sir. And super funny, like the package. I mean, there was no tape.
I shot you a gang of that tree, didn't I? Right? I'm just trying to remember if I did that.
The what's it called? All the tape, because there was no like packaging tape. Use the stickers from the draft board. Super clutch. So the whole box is just like wrapped in like fantasy stickers.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I skipped this. Okay. Let me see. This is Super Saiyan Vegan. Totally agree on DK, but the part of me wants to see him end up.
Super Saiyan, like Dragon Ball.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Super Saiyan. There we go.
He's not a regular vegan, bro. He's a Super Saiyan vegan.
They said part of me wants to see him end up high, but I don't see it happening with Lockett there. What about Stevenson? I love Stevenson still because now he's actually dropping in ADP where you can get him at a little bit of a value. And he said they're high on Zeke, talking about giving him a workload. Nah, man, that's Bill Belichick. Like, he'll get goal line work, and Stevenson only had one goal line touchdown last year. So if he keeps up the same or increases it,
if you're Bill Belichick, this is why you bring in Zeke, because you look at the red zone efficiencies, because this is where you hit pay dirt. And when it came to Ramondre Stevenson last year, 6 rush attempts within the 5, only scored 1 touchdown. Zeke, 11 rush attempts within the 5-yard line, 8 touchdowns. That's pretty much like, I'll bring him in. You know what I mean?
Tino, you're smoked out. He said Pat's got a true split backfield like Miami. No way.
Nah.
No way.
If it is split, it's not split. It's only split situationally. So
Zeke's not going to be coming out on 1st and 2nd down and getting receptions like Stevenson was. Like, that's just, why would you do that? Stevenson is like the fastest guy on their team, and Zeke is like the slowest guy on their team.
Yeah, and like Mac Jones, he's not a mobile guy, so he'll check down, and that's what all of those receptions are. It's a New England thing. This goes way back before Stevenson and all those, and Mac Jones, all those motherfuckers. They've been doing this forever, throwing at the running backs on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. And Yuck said pick 4. PPR got single QB, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, and IDP. If there's no tight end spot, I don't necessarily like force Kelsey into my lineup unless it's tight end premium that high. In this case, pick 4, 3 wide receivers. I'm probably going to wide receiver with that first one. Hopefully like Hills like there. That's where I'd be going more than likely.
They thought I was crazy. I took Hill over Chase.
I took Hill over Chase as well.
And then Steve, I like it because everyone's like, you're tripping, bro, tripping. And Steamboat goes, you got him higher? I said, yeah. And he goes, okay. You know what I mean? Because he understands my madness. Like, hey, I think he finishes higher than Jamar Chase. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they were literally the choices, him or Jamar Chase. And it was like, okay, I'll take Hill here. And then, of course, Tino's right behind me. He's like, yeah, stupid Chase. It's like, yes.
And see, and like to each his own, because like I'm happy getting Chase or Hill. But yeah. given the exact same, situation, I took Hill over Chase. And Derek said I'll take Hill over Chase as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I like that we've consistently seen this with Tyreek Hill, and one thing that's awesome about him is he just started getting better even. Is that crazy?
Yeah. Marco said, when will the draft orders for the wafer leagues be decided? We got to get more people in. But pretty much it's going to be like right before everything happens. But we got to get more people in because it's Thursday, and these drafts are happening on Saturday and Sunday. We got multiple spots left in the 11 a.m. on Saturday, the 1 p.m. on Saturday, the 3 p.m. on Saturday, and 2 of them are filled up. And then we got spots left in the Sunday at 9, Sunday at 11, Sunday at 1, and Sunday at 3. And the wafers, I know some of the peeps from the wafers crew are gonna be in it. we're waiting to get all the times from like the people who said that they want to get in it. So it's gonna come down to the wire. But yeah, we're gonna get everybody in. A lot of stuff happening today and tomorrow with that. And Yuck said, what app y'all drafted on? Sleeper. The only league I'm not doing on Sleeper this year is the Vampire League. And that's for like specific rules that are like in the Vampire League. So it just makes it easier to do it on Yahoo. But I don't like it though.
I like coconut things. This coconut water, not the business.
Marco said, what kind of merch is the prize? So there's going to be weekly t-shirt prizes if you're like the top scorer in the tournament. There's going to be season-long prizes as well, and like the grand prize is a Wafers Letterman's jacket, and I seen it is fire. At least I seen the design of what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be a dope one. What? And Yuck said I'm a Yahoo. What? He said I gotta get with Sleeper.
It's not your fault. It's probably your league mates is the same way. They think something's the best and they never tried anything else.
Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was for if it wasn't for like Dynasty, I don't know if I would have switched to Sleeper, but like Dynasty, like you kind of have to be on Sleeper. Like Yahoo's nowhere like anywhere close for Dynasty.
Listen, I don't hate on Yahoo. I think it sucks like shit though, and I think I will say it's the second best. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a Big Mac, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure I could find a ton of other better burgers, but you never can go wrong with a Big Mac. You know what I mean?
And seeing the biggest issue with me and Yahoo is I can only have 8 leagues on Yahoo. And so like it does, you know, like it, that's like, it's really holding me back. You know, that's just like a chippy.
Yeah, there was one year I maxed it 8, and then I had to make another email and just to have an extra one. And then what's fucked up is I won that extra league, that extra one, I won in that one. So it's like and then the next year I didn't have 8 on the original one. So I didn't know how to switch it. So I just had like to like log into this other one just because I wanted to build the stats on it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you can create a Yahoo profile with like a Gmail email.
Yeah,
so that's what I did.
Yeah.
But it was still bullshit. Yeah, like there's a year where I was in 10 leagues and I had to have 2 accounts. That shit was annoying as fuck. This is funny. Yuck said, I remember hearing this last year, Alex. He said, deja vu. Yeah, man, because like that Yahoo's bullshit. Like, fuck Yahoo. We have 4 vampire leagues. Okay, like that's half of the leagues that I could do on Yahoo. And like, I'm in so many other redrafts.
Yahoo is that they make you wait till Thursday sometimes for a stat correction. Hey, look, Sleeper, that midnight, West Coast midnight comes around, and they pretty much figured it all out for you. You know what I mean?
There have been cases where after, I feel like it happens way more with Yahoo.
It happens way more with Yahoo. All like routinely. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, fuck that. Because we play in IDP leagues. You know what I mean?
See, Yahoo needs to like pay guys like me and you to be their consultants for like making their app better. If they did that, their shit would be the shit. But it's not. Even Sleeper. Like they're lucky that they consulted with Jordan about getting the IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring there, but not like they consulted with him on any ADP rankings or like anything, you know, like they need to start paying motherfuckers like us.
I think they let their algorithm do that. And they have a good amount of people. I think I saw a Sleeper commercial said they had 7 million new members join last year.
Yeah.
Pretty insane. So, you know, the ADP is pretty good as far as like, this is what the general public is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm talking about from the beginning. It took a lot of time and a lot of drafts to like get the ADP where we're finally like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, shit, we were able to hide certain things.
Richard Sherman was at the top of like the IDP.
Yeah, that's
ADP. Like,
but that also could be that like in those IDP leagues. But see, it wouldn't auto draft him though, unless you're doing deep leagues like we do. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because you wouldn't be able to get to Richard Sherman like that. But it was like weird that he was just on the top. So I'm like, is it because of people like auto drafting him, or is it just because they just suck?
I mean, it had to be because of the auto drafting. Like at one, because like who's picking Richard Sherman? Like,
I mean, people that don't know. I mean, you know what's funny is like So we had our first waiver wire shit in the Eastside League. And like everybody pretty much drafted their starting defense. I mean, not drafted, picked it up off the waivers.
Yeah.
I'm the only, everyone's like, because they're like, they don't know, a lot of them don't know shit. They're like, Daniel Hunter. You know what I mean? Yeah. Richard Sherman. There's like whatever name they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, it's not hard to do sleeper. Like Wafers is a free league. So if you want to get in, learn in a free league, and come jump in on the Saturday draft. And Peacock said Sleeper will respond directly to your bug fixes. Yahoo says, fuck you. Yeah, I've actually gotten responses from Sleeper. They follow me on Twitter because I was posting so many things that were like fucked up about their and yeah, they started following me, and then I could just message them directly if there was ever any issues. And Tino said they're pretty much all the same. Yahoo probably has better ADP for standard leagues because their dynasty sucks depending on what your league does. And seeing at the end of the day, I only kind of care about ADP for for IDP. I mean, outside of that, and I already know who I want, but it's just like for the experience for everybody else. Not even necessarily me, because I already know guys who I want to draft, and like, yeah, I got to scroll down a little bit to get to some of these guys, but you guys know some of the IDP guys that I've been on. But yeah, Yahoo sucks, man. It does. It sucks. I could only play in 8 leagues on Yahoo.
Those guys who call themselves IDP guys don't get IDP information from them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because like now they started covering offensive stuff as well.
Oh, so they stuck on that side of the ball too much.
Yeah, I listened to them. This is maybe.
I'm not gonna say any names, but I'm not gonna say the name of the channel. Well, okay. Well, Dennis hit me. He's like, fill in the blank, such and such. I tried to watch the show. Man, that shit's fucking terrible. I'm like, I know, man. Like, it's just they're all like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, they're all, just
the IDP guys specifically. There was like 2 IDP podcasts back. This is like 2017 or 18, something like that. Yeah. And I listened to their podcast for like 3 weeks, and then I had to stop listening to them because you could tell that they don't watch football. They just stat track. Maybe they'll watch a game or 2 a week, but like we watch every single game. Like there's people out there who are not doing that, and they're trying to give you advice on shit based off of reading stats.
I used to pay for Game Pass for a couple of years just to have the condensed versions, and I found out they put it on YouTube a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, screw that.
Yeah.
Sure, watch it. And then that's my Monday mornings, you know what I mean? Because those games, they condense it down to about 5 to 7 minutes, and it's like you can watch an entire game, just all the plays, and be like, okay, there it is. Watched it.
Yeah, Tino said Sleeper is a better app than Yahoo. Yahoo's extremely slow.
One thing too is like I feel like they're trying to look like each other every year. They're trying to change little things to look like each other. Yeah. Like even that new Sleeper update, I feel like it's the text they use and stuff. It's all like kind of Yahoo-esque.
Yeah. They should have always been that way of what it is now, because I do like the layout a little bit better now. I mean, the weird swipe, the swiping to the side, like a lot of people don't understand that, right away. And all that kind of shit. So I feel like it is easier now. And KE said, anyone interested in playing for a championship ring? Literally every single league that I host plays for a championship ring.
I think he might be trying to fill spots in his joint. I think that's what he's doing.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Bake said NFL app is the worst. Can't even edit roster size, edit bench spots on mobile. Yeah, you pretty much have to do everything on the desktop to set up your league for NFL.
It's funny because this is not just you, right? Because I know you did this that 1 year too, but like everyone that 1 year that was doing like celebrity leagues, and we had like NFL analysts,
yeah,
NFL Network and whatnot.
Yeah,
it was funny because everyone figured, hey, you guys are company guys. Let's just do it on NFL Network. And then behind the scenes, they're like, man, NFL's app sucks, bro.
Because it does.
Like whether it was, Marcus Grant, or if it was Adam Rank or James Coe, who was formerly of NFL Network, and they're just like, yo, that app really sucks donkey cock and balls.
And the the one, I mean, luckily, you know, I'm just good at what I do. So I was still able to set up the exact same settings minus QB hits because they don't have QB hits over there as a stat. Maybe
yeah,
they
and you
do
know, it's
now,
funny.
but
I
back then
argue
they
with this
didn't.
to the death with Steamboat, and then he goes, "I can't find it, but I know it's in there." I'm like, "No, you can't find it.
It is not in there. Trust me.
There is no QB hits in Yahoo."
Yeah,
No.
so that's why there'll always be a difference in scoring from Sleeper to Yahoo in the if you're doing IDP 1, 2, 3 because they don't track the QB hits on Yahoo.
All right, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. The first one is, I know the answer. All right, it's really about the second question. So here's the first question. I'm annoying as fuck, correct? Yes. Sure. And I like things nice and neat the way they are. I like continuity. You know what I mean? I mean, these are the sports we love. We don't come in next year and they're like, you know what? Commissioner Goodell just decided to remove all linemen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a center, right? And then, you know, people have a real problem with that because they'll be like, hey, man, every year I've been building my team with the offensive line. You know, I kind of need that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so now in this league, I've been in this one since 2017 or 18. I can't remember, but it was my only IDP league for like about 3 years before I started joining multiple in 2020. And it's 2 of everything, right? 2 DBs, 2 LBs, 2 DLs, 2 IDP flex. Just unbeknownst to everyone, Commissioner just takes out one of the IDP flexes. You know, and like I build my team, I draft a certain way because I have that extra flex. You know what I mean?
It was a keeper or a dynasty?
No, it's not. It's just our regular redraft, the one we drafted on Saturday.
Okay.
And you know, his reasoning was, hey, you know, I just wanted to shorten the draft. I'm like, then get rid of the fucking kicker. You know what I mean? Why the fuck get rid of an IDP flex? Something that, you know, when it clicked to me how to compete well in this league, it was what I was putting in that extra flex spots. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like an emphasis on the linebackers. I'm going to draft a certain way so I can have 4 chunky linebackers on my defensive side of the ball, and I'm just knocking people on their ass every week. So when you take that away, it really makes me upset. But then, you know, no one cares for it because I don't think anyone has realized that except for the people. And the only people that have were upset about it was like Steamboat, right? He's like, I don't like it, bro. But he's like, what are we going to do? He made a change. And I said, you know, Steamboat, when you were the commissioner, if he made that change, they would dethrone him as commissioner because they have for stuff like that before. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, yeah, and shout out to my guy, Steven. I have no problem with Steven. It was just like one of those things like, hey, bro, if Joey was to do this, you know what I mean? He would have got fucking knocked off as commissioner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and so, I mean, here's what I would always do. I mean, let's just use the Green Bowl as an example, because like it got to a point where like I stopped asking people for advice. I made changes based on what I felt was like better for the league. But like it'd be when things clicked for me during the season, I would say, okay, I know this is a change that we're doing next year. And I would tell people like mid-season, like when because IDP 1, 2, 3 did not exist until like, I don't know, like 2018 or 19. Like Jordan hasn't even been playing fantasy football for like that long in the grand scheme of things. But it was a cool little.
That's why he's not that good.
But there's a cool, you know, it's a cool concept, and it was very similar to the point structure that I'd been tweaking since 2008, and it all and one of the bigger things was like interceptions used to be 5 points, you know, and then we like upped it to 6. And like a forced fumble and fumble recovery used to be 2 points each. And Kidda was the one who brought it up. He was like, man, if we're getting 6 points for a reception, don't you think we should be getting 6 points for a forced fumble and the fumble recovery?
For a touchdown.
No.
Oh, for an interception. My bad. You said reception.
Yeah, interception.
Yeah, hell yeah. I agree with you. I agree.
And so this is a long time ago. It was like 2011 or something. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're doing that next year because it does make sense. If you create the turnover and you swoop it, you know, yeah, you should get the same points as an interception, you know, for those two things combined.
The strip sack fumble, that's like 10 points, right? In most of our joints, right? Something like that.
Shit, even more than that. I mean, because the stack is 6, the strip is 3, and then I think you do get the credit for the tackle, as well. So yeah, it's
plus
like a
the
9
recovery. So that's 5, 7.
Yeah, plus the recovery, like 14. And then if you score it, then it's like a 20-point play.
I mean, shout out to Rayshawn Jenkins.
So I changed. So one of the scoring, one of the scoring options that I adopted, damn near everything else was the same. QB hits didn't come into play until sleeper, and so but it was the IDP touchdown. I felt like they were so rare that they needed to be worth 10 points when I was, when it was my scoring system specifically.
Yeah.
Because they're so rare. But, on IDP 1, 2, 3, they're 6. And I felt like it just made it easier making it 6.
So I actually, like I said, the first part of the 2-part question was I'm annoying, right? Because then I go along just annoying everyone about it on the side, though, right? Because I feel like I was trying to find who else made them upset about this. You know what I mean? Like, who else got upset about this? Because I feel like I finally started figuring out how to whoop ass in that league, and then you change the format on me. That pisses me off. You know what I mean? But it's because it's personal. Like, this is how I figured it out. You know what I mean? And then shout out to my man Hinnock when I was explaining it to him. He's like, I get it. He's like, he finally got to the Super Bowl and they changed things. And Hinnock's the guy, like, he's left the league like twice, for a year at a time, a couple times.
But here's what I will say. Fuck removing any other spot and keeping a kicker. Like, it was always the opposite for me in these leagues. Remove the kicker, throw in some kind of extra flex, whether it's offense or defensive flex.
I don't get it, bro. And then and their kickers are really detrimental too. So first of all, not only are kickers lucky and fluky, what's so funny? Anyways, they're not only are they lucky and fluky, but if you miss the extra point, that's like -3. If you're kicking a 50-yarder and you miss, that's -5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking whack. I've lost close matches before because my kicker just botched something for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Tino said he got dethroned for making a phone call. Damn, Bogey makes a lot of phone calls. You would have been dethroned hella quick. And
you gotta, before you start making phone calls, you gotta have secret coalitions. Okay, look I'm gonna make this phone call. All right, it's gonna happen. Just giving you a heads up. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then you go to the other coalition. See, and I know Steven. He rules it with an iron fist.
Yeah.
He ain't telling nobody nothing. He said, "Well, everyone does get notifications." I said, "Yeah, but you ain't notifying nobody. You just do this change, and everyone gets the email." I don't even look at my Yahoo emails like that. I don't even have anything else synced to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
so
Peacock said for sure I give those points to individual players however I can, for sure. And Marco said kickers are for wimps and commies.
I mean, I think they're all communists actually in that league.
Oh man. All right, let's get up out of here. We'll be back in a couple hours for FNT, 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Any parting words, Bogey?
What you got to say? Now you don't want to say nothing. Give money.
He's out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the